Hello and welcome to Hatewatch, where everything sucks and I hate football. I'm your host, thefatasian, and before I get into my eternal depression, I'd like to thank all you guys who went ahead and followed me on IG. We hit 4K on there, and I'm happy to report still no bitches. But you know, at least I still had Manchester United to cheer me up over the weekend. But before we dive into the real hate watch for the evening, let's go ahead and cleanse the palate a little with a smidge of Love Watch. Over the weekend, we got to witness the two brain cells, that is Cole Palmer, make history by becoming the first player in Premier League history to score 4 goals in the first half, including this sensational free kick that apparently, when asked about it later, says that he doesn't even practice free kick. The man is just pure football instinct. He's essentially a blue lock player in real life. And maybe even more sensational than this first half performance is that he could have scored 6. He hit the post a couple times. And after this unbelievable performance, how did he respond in the post-game interview?
Cole, was this maybe the best performance of your career so far?
I'm not sure. Maybe it was up there.
Yeah.
This man is the national treasure. And England, make him your captain immediately. Because I think he's the only footballer of this generation that can end England's trophy drought. Simply for the fact that he is too stupid to care about what the press thinks, about the pressure that's on him, the years of frustration built up over time. He doesn't give a shit. Look at this beautiful boy. Just empty between the ears, except football instinct. He is the perfect anti-venom to the England curse. Protect him and treat him like a modern-day Princess Diana. You got a good one, England. Hold on to her. But enough of the compliments. Let's get to the hate. Hate. Before we get into the EPL, let's check in on the premier child labor force in Europe, Barcelona. And for the first time this season in La Liga, Barcelona has finally lost. Thank God, finally. Because let me tell you, it was getting a little bit unsufferable on social media. There are a few fan bases out there that when their team is doing good, their fans are just annoying as shit. And I get it. I was part of the problem 10 years ago, being a Man United fan, Liverpool fans not too long ago, Chelsea and Arsenal fan, notorious, and of course, Real Madrid and Barca fan. Thank God there are no Man City fans. Could you imagine the last 10 years if there were? But I get a Barca fan. No one expected this. You're out to a flying start. Lamine Yamal really does look like the next Messi-esque talent to come through your La Masia Academy, just hitting all the notes just to edge you right to that climax. Hansi Flick has got this sweatshop roster scoring for fun, and y'all were celebrating like you had already won the league. Like, chill. Bro, we're not even to Halloween yet, but to lose to Osasuna 4-2 in the 4th goal, poor giveaway by your golden boy Lamine Yamal, it was a nice humbling moment, let's just say that. But part of me also feels a little bit bad about Barca fan because I know the ones that stuck around and didn't become Man City fans, y'all real ones. And you know who also appreciates you guys? Jules Koundé. Because he's also a real one. In order to soften the blow of their first loss of the season, he went ahead and posted this video of him shirtless, being lathered up in whipped cream. Yeah, so there you go, Barca fan. Probably wish you had PK back. But also, this was like a good reality check for you guys. You weren't winning the league. You have one world-class player who's hard carrying your team. You're already being hit hard with injuries. You lack squad depth. And unless you get your money right, you're probably going to waste Lamine Yamal's best years. Or he'll leave you one day for a team that isn't run like a crypto scheme. So in the words of Erling Haaland from last week, now this loss did open up the door for second place Real Madrid to go ahead and close the gap to a single point. Problem was, they were playing away from home the Madrid derby, and they're missing their new star boy, Kylian Mbappe, who is out due to a hamstring injury. So some might argue that this is their strongest team. And what we got was an ugly match that got even uglier once Real Madrid found the opener in the 68th minute when Eder Militao scrambled it into the net. And ex-Atletico Madrid player Thibaut Courtois found it a fun time to celebrate the goal in front of the Atletico Ultras, and they didn't take too kindly to that. I mean, the attention was already there. Many see him as a Judas from switching over to the crosstown rivals, although he did make a pit stop in Chelsea in between. But still, and he also helped Atletico win the league about a decade ago. But, you know, fuck all that. He's on Los Blancos now. Screw that guy. And they start just raining down projectiles onto the Belgian beanpole. And once lighters were found amongst the debris, the ref had to go ahead and stop the game for 15 minutes. And during that stoppage, Atletico players had to go over to the Ultras into the stands to try to help calm them down, with the defender Jimenez getting a drink poured on him for all of his trouble. And after watching all this happen, all I could think was, Spain, are you okay? Like, what's going on that your fans are throwing missiles onto the pitch? You know what I'm saying? And this is coming from a guy who's living in a country where there's been 2 assassination attempts on the next president. But anyway, let's keep talking about you guys, because things were not really calming down, and there was a threat at one point that if the Atletico fans didn't chill out, the game would be suspended and Real Madrid would be awarded a 3-0 victory. And even after this explanation, it took a lot. It took a lot to calm down the fans. You know it's probably simmering over the top when Diego Simeone has to be the one to tell the guy in the luchador mask to calm down. An Athletic fan, what are you doing? This is just stupid. You're gonna hurt your own team, right? You never do it in the stadium. You don't throw shit on the pitch. You don't racially abuse the player in the stadium. No, you wait till after the game and then use your burner account to hurl slurs on social media, like a normal Spanish fan. Grow up! Thankfully, cooler heads finally prevailed, and they were eventually able to restart the match. And because of this ruckus, there were 8 minutes of stoppage time, and deep into that stoppage time, lo and behold, Atletico Madrid pulled one back, threw a fortuitous bounce off of Angel Correa, and after the equalizer, the ref pretty much just called the game off. He was like, fuck it, I'm out. Let's just call it a draw and be done with this fucking mess. And that is how the weekend at La Liga ended. And this somehow wasn't the most glorious piece of shithousery that occurred over the weekend. No, that is reserved for the special one, Jose Mourinho, who over in Turkey got himself a yellow card by doing what? Oh, I don't know, maybe just putting a laptop in front of the camera to show just how bad of a call the ref made by disallowing the goal from Edin Dzeko. I mean, that's a new one. I gotta give him that, and, you know, just a special moment from the special one. Never change, Mourinho. Never fucking change. I love you. Then we have this footage from the weekend of Bournemouth fans cheering, not just in delight for smashing Southampton 3-1, but as this massacre is going on, an announcement over the PA system alerted all the Southampton fans that the last train back to Southampton had been canceled, and thus they weren't going to get home until 5 a.m. in the morning. And the Cherry fans celebrated just as loud as one of the goals they scored. But alright, let's talk more about the Premier League then. But don't look now, but the Rodri injury might have an impact on the race this year. Because let's talk about Man City versus Newcastle, or as it will be dubbed in the future, the Oil Money Derby. And I don't know if it was because Rodri was missing, or if it was just one of those games where Man City was off. Like, yeah, they were able to get a goal through defender and part-time striker Gvardiol, but beyond that, they didn't do much. And in the second half, Anthony Gordon wins a penalty, he converts it, and the game died after that, 1-1. To be fair, Man City had a fair amount of good half chances, but couldn't convert on any of them. Haaland is actually human. Yeah, for as amazing as Baby Thor is, he's honestly not amazing at heading. That's pretty much the only service he received all afternoon. But that's Man City for you. Even on their off day, they get a point. But by dropping points 2 weeks in a row, it does open the door for someone, maybe someone, to go ahead and go atop of the league. Which leads me to talking about Arsenal. Well, let's be frank, they almost bottled it 2 weeks in a row. They should have dropped points up against Leicester, but they got themselves a corner late, and for whatever reason, Arsenal have figured out some cheat code on corners, and they're unstoppable. They get their crucial 3 points, and now they're right behind Man City due to goal differential, which leaves only one team that can surpass Man City this weekend, and that was Liverpool, and luckily for them, they were going against the worst team in the league, Wolves. And I'm gonna be frank here, Liverpool looked like shit in this match. But they were able to grind out a win against the shittiest team in the league, and now Arne Slot has got his boys atop of the table. And as a Manchester United fan, this is like a Sophie's choice on who I would rather see on top of the Prem right now. Liverpool or Man City. It's like asking me, do I want cancer or AIDS? Although at the moment, I think I might choose either if it meant that I didn't have to watch Manchester United for the rest of the season. Because holy fuck. All right, let's talk about it. Oh God, Manchester United versus Spurs. 2 minutes in, Manchester United concede basically the same goal they conceded midweek in Europa. A player runs straight to the midfield, uncontested, finds himself in the box, and crosses it to an unmarked back post. This is grade school quality defending coming from the third biggest club on the planet. And it's just soul-crushingly embarrassing. And the response from United was equally disheartening, as they put up pitiful amounts of fight. And after a decent showing at Crystal Palace, they go right back the very next week to looking like they've never seen a leather ball in their lives. And then to make matters catastrophically worse in the 45th, Bruno Fernandes makes a reckless tackle. He slips, which causes his leg to go a little bit higher. When the high stud's showing, he goes ahead and clips James Maddison up on the shin, and the ref deems it enough for a red card. And for the second weekend in a row in the Premier League, the major marquee matchup of the weekend is ruined by another red card in the first half. And a second red card that didn't need to happen. Bruno slipped, there was no malice in the tackle, the impact is honestly negligible, and the FA has seen as fit so because they've rescinded the red card ban. But honestly, there was no need for this red because Manchester United already looked like they were playing with a man down. They could have easily ruined my weekend with a full 11, but the ref just had to put the stake in the heart. And a personal anecdote, I can't watch these games at my house, I have to go to a bar to watch this. And as I got myself an overpriced breakfast and drink, before I could take my first sip of tea, it was already 1-0. Before I can finish my bacon, egg, and cheese, Manchester United are down to 10 men. And now that they're down to 10 men, for the first time, I think, watching Manchester United, I thought to myself, what is the point of watching the rest of this? I know this is a terrible fan thing to ask, then the logic part of my brain is like, hey, we're not good. We're going to finish mid-table, and this game is a lost cause. And as I'm thinking this, while Bruno Fernandes is walking off the pitch, then I see Kobe Mainoo get subbed off for Mason Mount. And at that point, I was like, check please. I'm gone. I'm out. No, fuck this. And that's what I did. I paid my bill, and I left. I left to start writing this video. Listen, if we had full 11, at least maybe I could see a little bit of progress from the boys. But down to 10 men, Mainoo off, no. No, it was too depressing. I couldn't handle it. And this is how bad it was. I went to make myself feel better by getting an ice cream at 11 o'clock in the morning. Do you know the look you get when you walk into an ice cream parlor at 11 a.m. in the morning? I could have gone to a bar and they would have thought more of me. But this is what Manchester United has done to me. Eating 2 scoops of rum raisin at 11 a.m. on a Sunday. But yeah, I collected myself, I went home, I watched the rest of the game at 2x speed, and it played out exactly how I thought it would. And I mean, this Mark Goldbridge clip says it all.
I don't know what to say. Well, what do you want me to say? Fucking hate this game. Fucking hate it. I hate this game. I just hate it. I fucking hate football.
3-0 is the final result. Dominic Solanke hits us with the Sakuna JJK pose. And at the end of all this, my fellow Manchester United fans, we have to face facts. We are an outrageously overpriced mid-table team. I knew we were far below Liverpool, but I did not know we were this far below Spurs. Like, yeah, there's a young, exciting core here. Maybe when Lenny Yoro comes back, sure. But by that time, Erik ten Hag's probably going to get canned. And God knows what the next new coach will want to do. Maybe he wants to go the veteran route. And thus, we start the cycle all over again. And there was hope that maybe the new ownership could revitalize something. But all they're doing is fucking penny pitching at Old Trafford. Like, they just cut the kit man who's been there for 25 years. What the fuck are we doing? Really? This is what's going to change the culture at Manchester United? This is what's going to bring titles? Do you think Man City is winning titles because they penny pinched on their kit man? We are just in different planes of existence from the top tier teams in the Premier League right now. We are a glorified Crystal Palace. And the most depressing part about this is that it has just been a steady decline since Sir Alex Ferguson left. We're not getting better. No, we're only getting worse. If you want to know what it's like being an American right now and living in a dying empire, become a Manchester United fan, because they're not too dissimilar. Think about it. Just incompetent leader after incompetent leader after incompetent leader. Nothing gets better. Your infrastructure is literally falling apart. Everyone around you is fat and depressed. And there's very little hope of shit getting better or thinner. Shit is rough out here in Manchester and in the US. And the only thing I can do about it is this. This is it for Hatewatch Corner. I have nothing else to fucking say. But I'd like to go ahead and thank all my patrons, keeping my suffering existence going. Genuinely though, I'd like to go ahead and welcome the newest member to the GOAT tier, so at least someone's having fun through all my suffering. Thank you, Peter Barr. You are the one good thing that happened to me over the weekend. So cheers. Also, thank you to Robert Matai, Elm, and of course Eric J for being in the GOAT tier. Thank you to Lewis and Alex for helping me edit this. And yeah, till next week, hopefully I don't kill myself.